fight is going to decide this map without a shadow of a doubt. There's the headshot. Needs one more.
EU is over, but we are still only halfway through the day as we have the whole of the North American broadcast still to come. This is Harry, better known as Lethal. My name is Falcone, and we've missed you. If you missed us, we've missed you. And more importantly, we have missed this epic Guns of Boom action, which is just about to continue.
That's right. EU's over and done with. The settle has been scored there, and now it's over to the pond in the North American region now. And
sorry, did you just say the settle has been scored?
So the settlement has been scored, yeah, as in, like, you know, the scores have been settled.
That's the one.
The wrong way around.
There you go.
It's getting late here, you know, I'll get it all back to front, but you guys knew what I meant anyway. But yeah, it should be a good one now. Of course, we know Impact Gaming are very dominant. Enix are in that top 3 spot. And I'm interested to see what other North American teams come out of the woodwork here.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm very excited to hopefully see Impact again after their amazing performance, actually winning Pro Series Brazil last week. And here we go. It's going to be Impact Gaming up against Broken in semi-final 1, and Enix up against Epic in semi-final 2. And this is about what you'd expect for the NA scene, right?
This is what you could have predicted. You're completely right about that. With Enix and Epic, you know, that should be another good one there. And with Impact Gaming and Broken as well, you know, Impact Gaming have been very, very dominant over the last couple of seasons. I'm sure they'll continue with their dominance. And from what we've seen from Brazil, it looks like there's no stopping them here. Yeah,
I mean, from what I saw at Brazil, particularly Gentrix, I've got to say, I was going on about it during the broadcast last week. Every time he got that sniper out, I just got a little bit excited, Harry.
I'm not surprised. Every one of them can literally turn up on the day, especially all the members on Impact. Is not one of them who will never have a bad day. They're all very, very consistent players. And that's the great thing as well, and that's the mould in this team. Anyone can do anything anyone can do. It's not saying that all these players are all-rounders that have their roles to play, but in terms of level of consistency and their fragging ability, their movement, all the bits in the pie there, they seem to be very good at where they are now.
Yep. Obviously, I just called out Gentrix, but we know Impact Gaming very well. They're like the showman of the scene. Is that fair to say? Venom with the shade, throwing the shade. I think in Brazil for their first game, it looked like he was actually going to play his first game, like lying back. Like
you see some of them do that, really, don't you? Yeah. Do you know, even though I was tempted to do that with my chair, I was tempted to do it in the past. I just know I won't figure out a way on broadcast how to get it back up.
Oh, you're just like tip over or something.
Yeah, I'm not really a risky, you know, high risk, high reward, but I think I'll be a high risk, but there'll be no reward because I'll have to be trying to get straight back up every single time. But yeah, players like Gentrix, of course, you know, even though all 4 players are great, Gentrix is a very good player on that team. But speaking of that team, we'll be going to this first map between Impact Gaming and Broken to see what Broken can do here against such a top squad.
And how do you say that name? 3 Elmo? Is it just Elmo?
No, that's just, I'm pretty sure that's just Elmo. That's normally what I call him anyway. Could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that's a 3 instead of an E.
Oh, Elmo got the first time there, and then took out Ariel after that on a roll. But Venom does take down Elmo, and now we see Format, our good friend and co-caster from last weekend in this game as well, playing for Broken.
That is right, and Emily From, who was at the sub for Enix, is also on this team, so some great players here. Impact Gaming have a nice little lead so far, only by 30 points, but they're getting the job done. We've got great map control. Ariel's right here, just trying to keep Emily back and Format as much as possible, which is great. Even though we will get taken down, does get a lot of damage done before he gets taken down. At least they've pinned him in the base enough to make sure they suffocate them on spawn.
Got some real trades going on here. Pretty close game. Impact only just narrowly in the lead as Emily and Elmo push forward on Gentrix, trying to take him down. Failing though, as Gentrix had a little bit of support there, and Ariel gets the double in there. Yeah, Impact looking pretty strong, pretty defensive there.
Yeah, it's to be expected, but as you can see, Impact Gaming got that top mid control. Venom knows how important it is, and he's trying to get every angle just to do as much damage as possible. It doesn't matter if he gets taken down. He's done more than enough there. So hopefully Impact get the cleanup, which they do. Ariel with a double. He's trying to get that triple. Won't happen though, as they get traded off, as so does Gentrix there.
Yeah, some real work done by Broken. Again, they're only narrowly behind as Corrupt doesn't quite get in a limb there with that sniper shot. Venom going to give it a go. Looking at Format by the looks of things as Ariel throws that grenade at Elmo there. Gentrix pushing Emily, and Elmo does take Emily down very quickly. He gets taken down himself straight after that. And Ariel now on his own.
I think I saw one of the players, I think it was on Broken, using a Dolores, which is, again, a good shotgun, but the problem is the fact that due to the low fire rate, you have to hit every shot to make it count. If you don't, then there will be some trouble, but it's nice to see some slight off-meta picks here in terms of weaponry. Gentrix here, as you saw, a nice double with the snipe, increasing their lead ever so surely. Venom with a Blade Master there to extra points on the board. It was actually Format using it there, but look at this now. Aerial gets behind. They're trying to get a map control again. Aerial with another double there, and 112 points separates both teams.
Yeah, indeed, as Elmo gets a nice little limb on Aerial there. Throwing a grenade, trying to play it nice and cool. As Gentrix coming out, going to fire down on Emily, but then a Moose Pirate gets destroyed by Venom and Aerial together. And the trades are continuing, but Impact Gaming seems to be creeping further and further into the lead. Yeah,
it seems to be the wave out. I was thinking to say, it looked like a Moose Pirate, but I realised as well, oh, it's a News Pirate, right?
Do you notice how slowly I said the name?
Yeah.
News Pirate. Eventually.
That's fine, I completely understand that. And Gentrix now holding that Tommy control, doing a good job, getting so much damage done here. Emily does take one down, but Corrupt gets one for himself. Emily gets a double, and a snipe there from Venom. It's going to be very close now, but to be fair, I think the score's way too far apart for Broken to come back in. I think Impact will be taking this map number 1 shortly.
It would take a real miracle, especially given the fact News Pirate has very, very low health as it is. It would take a couple wipes, and it's just not going to happen. Format gets mowed down by Gentrix there. Gentrix on a bit of a roll. Retreating as he has quite low health, and now 4 points into Impact Gaming win. That's a single elimination. It's not going to take that long. And the G-launchers come out, and the elim happens.
And why not? You know, it's the end of the game. There's not really too much use to have it used any later in the game. Impact Gaming with that first map win, and there's no surprises there. Corrupt with the top point score on the board. Elmo did very well on Broken as well, but you know, you've all got to pave your way and obviously split those points aboard, and the frags can't just be a one-man job, I'm afraid.
It absolutely wasn't the most one-sided game that we've seen today. As we take a look at some of these scores, and Corrupt, they're doing some serious work on 163 points. That's a very nice score. But yeah, all in all, just a slightly stronger performance across the board from Impact Gaming. And this is pretty much what you'd expect, right, Harry?
Yeah, honestly, Dan, not too much of a surprise. We saw Corrupt there with a nice 2-0 KD. Great stuff from him. Aerial with contribution to 17 eliminations. And the News Pirate got 13 for himself, but it just wasn't to be there. But Broken still have another 2 maps they can come back on, but against an Impact Gaming this strong, it's a tall order, I think it's safe to say.
Venom on 126, you know, calm, confident as ever. What I will say is that it's clear to me, at least, that Impact Gaming are very comfortable on the stage. So that's sort of an extra advantage they have. Whereas a lot of other players maybe would feel the pressure when they're actually on an offline event. But that's not going to be quite as important here in this online setting, because for the other teams that maybe aren't so confident on the stage, that's okay, because they're just, you know, they're at home in their own comfort zone, just playing on their own phones.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is, though, you get online warriors, like I spoke about in the past, but literally right now, Impact Gaming are the LAN warriors. They are the gatekeepers to the grand finals. I wouldn't even say gatekeepers to the grand finals. Like, you know, they're always going to be the final boss at, like, whatever event they go to. And it wouldn't surprise me if they manage to get another grand final spot in the next event, which is going to be the Gobs of Boom. But you never know. We see some weird things happen. We've got to see if those European teams do come out of the woodwork. But we're focusing on the North American region here. And Broken need to take this map, or else it will be all over here.
Well, here we go, as Broken have stormed A, but Impact have managed to get both B and C. If they can hold on to B, that is going to be a big deal, as Impact gets taken down by Format. It's Corrupt, sorry, gets taken down by Format. Now Venom on his own, taking A. That's going to be a triple cap right there already, Lethal.
Yeah, this is worrying already, because they already had such a dominant start. But you saw in that 1v2 underneath the base as well, it's like, you know, you should not be almost losing those 1v2 fights. I thought you would get taken down so quickly and so efficiently, but it just wasn't the case. It was very lucky he managed to take one down and did a huge amount of damage to the other. But Broken needs to try and figure out a way here. But again, all taken down here around the C site. They tried to push it, but Impact Gaming were already there. Venom with an elimination streak to add insult to injury now. And Aerial flanking around behind News Pirate to see if it can maybe get as much damage done as he can, but also take out the A spot.
Emily gets taken down there by the shotgun with Corrupt and the blade from Gentrix. And a little trade going on, but It's not looking great for Broken. However, they do have A, and they are looking, like they almost captured B, but got stopped in their tracks by Gentrix and the sniper rifle with that double elimination. And now Impact Gaming are comfortably taking point B back.
Yeah, they've got some good setups here with Impact. You can see from there that sometimes one of them will, if they've actually got the B side, they'll stand on top of their barn and then try and get the snipes off, but instead Gentrix doing it at the bottom, just changing things up. You don't want to be too predictable, which is perfectly understandable, but as you saw there, Emily and Pirate managed to get one of their own. It's not an opportunity as of yet because Corrupt, even though his opponent was actually quite weak, he was trying to make sure to bait him into B to clean it up to make it so it's a bit of an awkward death cycle. But look at this team up right now. You've got to give us duos and trios. You know, the bait and switching is always there perfectly, but the score gap is just getting bigger and bigger, and I don't know what they can do here on the side of Broken.
No, they did get a nice little elimination there, nice and clean, but Gentrix, they're getting that snipe on Format. It looks like Format's barely going to deal any damage to Gentrix. Does get that grenade in. There was some. However, it's just getting those points back is going to be so difficult with a 400-point lead now for Impact Gaming, and Impact Gaming only needing just over 200 points to win. There's just no time left for Broken to take this one.
Yeah, it seems it's a little bit too little too late if they do make a comeback here. Gentrix, his AR is so good, but it's his strafing on top of that. You know, it's quite hard to strafe on this game, even though it's quite slow in terms of how you move, but he tries to abuse it to as much of its potential as possible. But as you can see here, there's 3 men just waiting outside C, waiting for Pirate to come out. Corrupt managed to get the trade. Emily managed to take Venom down anyway, but Ariel gets the trade on her as well. And it's not really too much left now. Gentrix is trying to find if anyone else is on that C side. Venom will come up behind, get a clean up. It's almost said and done. 30 points left, and it's going to be close to done.
It's just a matter of time, isn't it? Like, Impact Gaming literally needs to hold on to the 1 point. There we go. There is the victory. And that's it. It's just a best out of 3. So Impact Gaming take the first semi-final. We will be seeing them again in the final for Broken. We're going to be seeing them battle it out for 3rd place against the loser of the next semi-final.
Short and sweet, but dominance nonetheless. You know, always making a statement at every one of these cups, and it's very hard to not see Impact. I reckon Impact is going to be one of those teams where not only will they qualify most probably for the Pro Series in Germany, I reckon they could consistently, you know, qualify for the next future events over the coming months, over the next 6, maybe even 12 months. Because I said Impact Gaming seems to be like one of those teams where they could be the dynasty of this game, depending on how they do. But especially in the NA region, they already are a dynasty here.
Got to say shout out to Format there with his 172 points that game. That's nothing to sniff at all. Great performance, but it just wasn't enough. We'll be seeing them again, like I said before, fighting for 3rd place. Still a great team, Format and Emily, both of which were in Brazil last weekend, as we were saying. Emily playing for Enix, Format on the casting desk, on the analyst desk.
That is right, yeah.
Sharing his wisdom.
Yeah, he's got a lot of wisdom. I learned a lot from him as well, from what he said about some of the players.
Great to work
Full
with.
respect. Oh yeah, fantastic to work with as well. He's got a lot of in-game knowledge on like how situations work with the players, the teams, especially in that NA region as well. But from what we've seen from Format, I think that's a good thing as an analyst. Like, if you're an analyst in a game like which you're casting and you're watching every single game throughout a tournament, you've got so many ways to kind of improve your own game as well, which I think is quite good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it never hurts to try and teach other people, right? Teaching other people is a great way to learn yourself. And I'm sure that comes for playing as well and talking about strategies. Let's take a look at the bracket for the Challenger Cup for the NA region so far. As you will see, Impact Gaming just took Broken down with a nice little 2-0 win. We'll be seeing them again in the finals. Semi-final 2 will be underway very shortly. Enix versus Epic. Harry, what do you expect to see there?
Well, one question I want to ask is the fact I think it was Epic who actually managed to get to the grand final last time, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Wasn't 100%, but I want to see how this match pans out. I would expect Enix to try and win this, but with this Epic roster, you know, I know like 3 of the 4 members from the old Only Nation roster are still in it at the moment, but I want to see how things pan out, because this is, for me, the first time I'm going to witness these 2 teams actually playing. And, you know, with a ballpark figure on how things will pan out for the rest of the weeks as well, I want to see exactly how things will pan out, because we know what Enix are like. You know, they're very methodical in how they actually play and not as aggressive as Impact, but I want to see just for myself how Epic play out.
Well, we'll be finding out very soon. We're going to go to a very short 5-minute break here, but we'll be back in just a few moments with semi-final number 2. Welcome back. It's the Guns of Boom NA Challenger Cup Season 2, Week 2, Semi-Final Number 2. Here we go.
That was very quick and very well said. So we're going to have Enix versus Epic now. And with these two teams, it's like I mentioned before the first semi-final. Very interested to see how these teams pan out. I would have thought Enix would have the advantage here, considering the circumstances of all the experience they've had. But I want to see how much they've learned from Brazil going into the second semi-final, and if they can actually replicate what they've learned and then put it into their structured team.
Yeah, Enix, if I remember rightly, is one of the teams that you guys were saying on the analyst desk. They very heavily rely on strategy, on trying to outthink their opponent.
That methodical play, yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So do you think that's going to come into play here again against Epic? Is that something that matters more in in offline events? What do you think?
I just think aggression's more important because, your strategies and tactics can only get you so far. But I think this game, because of how messy and hectic it is, you've got to be very quick on the bounce. It's more about your game sense, your movement, and how you actually execute certain scenarios, especially as a team when you're going as a 2, as a 3. But, for this one, it is a bit of a struggle. Like, I can understand the methodical plays, but I'm not sure if they're as methodical as people would think. I think the aggression is there for Enix, but we'll have to see how they execute what they've learnt from Brazil playing against Epic now in this first map.
Well, here we go. Straight away, we're getting snipes off from Enix. No limbs happening just yet, though, but health being lost on both sides. Swagger wanders out, gets some damage on Goku and J-Master there. But Guppy makes the first strike against Optimus, and then Mr. Mamba takes down Thanos.
Yeah, 2 snipe kills there. Great stuff from them, but managed to get cleared up. Guppy with another one on his own. A very strong lead from Epic here. Yep. Very impressed so far. Enix seems to be really struggling. They went for that passive stance first where they gave Epic the map control, but they sat back with the snipers. But it seems like it's not really helped them that much at all. It's been more the opposite side of the spectrum. But J-Master gets a frag. Optimus gets one for himself, but Key Monster there managed to get that vital trade in.
Look, J-Master coming back there with a double elimination, trying to find a triple, but not finding anyone. Starting to catch up, break this a little bit even, but the problem for Enix is that they are lower on health across the board than Epic, and so Enix have some serious work to do as J-Master gets the G-Launcher out, does get... who was that? Get Kitty Monster with that, and Swagger with the elimination streak and the double elim.
Yeah, that's back-to-back doubles for him. He's going to be very happy about that. Still managed to stay alive as well. I think Main's got taken down, as I said that, typical by Guppy. But Enix now, what a lead they created compared to how far down they were before. I know it comes in waves, but to turn it around so quickly at this margin, it was great stuff from them. But Swagger managed to get a trade in. J-Master would finish him off as well. Almost got a double, but sadly for him, Key Monster managed to finish him off.
Yeah, lots of trades going back and forth at the moment. It just gets very aggressive. The G-Launcher comes out, does get Kitty Monster, doesn't quite manage to finish off Guppy, goes for the double, but gets eliminated on the way there. Guppy does eventually get taken out by J-Master, and Thanos gets down Swagger as Enix do pretty much wipe the entire team, and now they are sitting on a comfortable 80-point lead after being behind at the start of this game.
Yeah, Mamba there, you saw, even though they were all quite weak, he went straight up top mid, went to get top mid control, a double elimination from Key Monster, and that's all 4 down for Enix. So this is Epic's chance to get a map control, try and make some kind of comeback here, but as I say, that Thanos with his sniping duties managed to pick Mamba off straight away.
Yeah, he was looking towards Guppy there, Guppy who was already low on health. I was wondering if he was going to get taken down as well, but didn't quite get there. As Goku eventually does. Kitty Master takes down Goku though. Optimus takes down Kitty Monster. The trades going back and forth again. Swagger looks like he's ready to try and take someone down around that corner. But, whoa, Optimus with the snipe on Swagger.
Yeah, that's good stuff from here. J-Master must get one of his own as well, but Key Monster managed to trade J-Master straight afterwards, but Guppy must get taken down as well. Thanos got another one for himself for his worries just to complement things further. But got all of his map control. Sadly, there's been a disconnect. But we saw from there, I think at one stage Enix was at least 80 to 100 points clear, especially after that 2 frags that Enix got. Then, I think Epic would have been on spawn there, so it would have been a little bit of a struggle to say who would have taken that.
Yes. Honestly, I don't know exactly what the ruling is. I've heard different things over the last few weeks about whether... I heard once that after the first shot gets fired, then the game can't be redone.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's true. That certainly wasn't the case in Brazil. So we will just wait on our admin to find out what is going to happen there. But still, exciting game to start off this series. Certainly quite close.
Yeah, because Epic had such a great start with the snipes, and they didn't really take too much damage. damage, but it's the fact that Enix completely turned it around, which was a bit of a surprise. I knew they'd make some kind of comeback after a while, but I wasn't really too sure. But we just heard on it is that Enix did actually win that, which wasn't too much of a surprise because they did have about an 80 to 100 point lead. So good stuff from Enix there, taking the first map over Epic.
And it's disappointing, but we are, as always, at the mercy of technology with Guns of Boom and with all esports. Unfortunately, no technology is perfect yet. I'm sure as time goes on and our internet connections get that little bit better, things are going to improve. But for the meantime, this is the best we got. And the fairest way to do it is to give the team that were ahead the win. In this case, that was Enix.
Yeah, I think they had such a lead there that it was understandable that they would have most probably taken that map. If it was much closer, then I think we'd be here for at least a good 5-10 minutes kind of trying to discuss with the
crunching
admins.
the numbers.
Exactly, yeah. Crunching the numbers to see what we'd actually think should be the turnout. Normally, if the scores were maybe very close, I would have said maybe a rematch, maybe to go back into it, or maybe the game played on and we didn't know. But it's certainly for Epic, a great start, but their level of consistency there did drop very highly like halfway through that game. But yeah, not really too sure what happened. I was a little bit surprised because after that start, after not taking that much damage, you would have thought Epic would have walked away with it. But Enix seemed to be coordinated a lot better as they were pushing rounds left and right.
Epic did get the strong start, exactly as you said, but in the end, Enix were 100 points clear of Epic, and that is the reason that they were awarded the win. But yeah, that was certainly not a landslide victory. I'm excited to see the next game, especially assuming we get all the way through it next time.
Oh, yeah. Even with the objective games now, I want to see an objective between these two just to see how things pan out, because I want to see Epic's level of aggression and see how they execute the site and how they actually manage to control it afterwards, maybe see how they actually counter-strategize after they've lost it. But it will be on Farming Complex, and for this map, this is going to be not as hectic as Atrium, but it will be quite messy anyway.
I want to see more King of the Hill, Harry. I'm not going to lie to you. King of the Hill is my favourite game type, I think, to watch.
One of my favourites as well, really.
I'm hoping we see some more of that a little bit later, but straight away, Thanos makes the first strike on Kitty Monster, and look at Enix go. J-Master gets the double elim there on Guppy and Mr. Man, but Swagger gets double elim going the other way, though, as it looks like he's going to try and capture B with the help of Kitty Monster. It looks like they might get it.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. Sadly, doesn't take down Key Monster. He was so weak, but with that extra manpower next to him, he managed to, distract him enough. But J-Master, a nice double from him. He's going to try and go for the triple, but doesn't really get it as Guppy just barely managed to take him down. And Goku managed to get trade for himself. Thanos gets a snipe down for his worries. And now Enix with a nice little lead here to start things off.
Yeah, they had firm control of B and C, but looked like while Thanos was going for A, they did lose B. Thanos on an elimination streak there, so it doesn't look like he cares too much. He is on a complete tear as he does capture A. Yes, they lose B, which is the middle one, but Guppy gets a double elim on B. So Epic are quite happy with controlling that point.
Yeah, Guppy with a triple elimination. That's all 4 down for Enix, and the only thing you can do now is wait for them to come off spawn and see exactly which way they go and how they're gonna try and come out of this, because Epic have managed to get that lead, but we'll have to see how long it will last until Enix try and strategize over it, as Key Monster managed to hold B, managed to stay alive behind those haystacks, which is great play considering they knew that they were coming from that right side, from their left side, looking at it from a different way. But J-Master, nice double for his worries, and hopefully they'll get some of these points now.
Yeah, Goku also took down Swagger, so while most of Epic are eliminated, it looked like Mr. Mamba almost went down there as well. They do have a moment to try and get those points back, but this isn't any Overwatch lethal. Like, they don't really get a breather. The respawns are almost instant, and Epic are on their way back. And the score has really been tied up here. In fact, it looks like Epic might be... or not anymore. It looked like they were just going to overtake Enix then. Yeah,
neither team's actually stabilised so far. Goku's doing a good job on the other side, but Key Monster also was doing a good job. And I think at that time it was 679 to 636, our last recalls. So that really is hard to predict. It would have gone either way for one of these teams. And normally around a 900 to 1,000 mark, you kind of get an idea of exactly how things pan out, but it was still too early.
It absolutely was. And, we do apologize for these technical issues. Believe me when I say we are as disappointed as you are that we're not seeing the outcome of the last couple games. Hopefully we get that sorted very, very soon. But as with before, we will wait and tell you the result as told to us by the almighty admin who are in charge.
The Lord Admin will let us know, and to see if Enix does manage to win that second map or if Epic will equalise with that 1-1 taking it to a final map. I would love to see another map between these two teams because it was as close as we expected. You know, like I said before, TDMs can be very hit and miss, but with these objective game types, they were very, very close. It's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how strong Epic are, but I've been quite impressed with them so far. Now, it's nice to see Key Monster, who's been around the block for quite a while now, to, you know, step things up and be one of the point leaders for his team.
It's certainly not a one-sided set of games, that's for sure. Again, like you said, like what, 50 points in it? And 50 points in it in Control as well. It's not TDM, like Control, where the score to win is 1,200. 50 points isn't much at all. No,
not at all. Like, you know, with a 43-point gap between two teams on map like Farming Complex with Control Point, you can never tell what's going to happen. If it was Europe Square and there was like 200-point difference and it was around the halfway mark, I still wouldn't like be able to predict because you never really know what's going to happen. On maps like that, you see 300-point drops and then it can go the opposite end of the spectrum. But with Farming Complex, it was way too neck and neck. I can't really predict exactly what would have happened. But you saw there that Epic made that comeback and then Enix managed to cleared the wave, so to speak. But we'll have to see what happened at the end of that game when we get told.
Now, I believe I saw in the corner of my eye, this could be wrong, this is just hot off the presses, I saw like a little box with scores being filled in, and it looked like it said 2-0 Enix versus Epic. So, yep, I've just had it confirmed in my ear, that is correct. Enix was granted the win, which means they did win that series 2-0, and Enix will be moving on into the semi-finals. Apparently, by the time that the play, I guess we got kicked out of spectator mode a little while before they finished playing. There was 260 points in it by the end of the game, so Enix did take that one down. You know, by a wide enough margin.
Yeah, even though we wouldn't be able to see it on stream, I'd rather the map be the carry playing out rather than having it stop and have a rematch. I know, for example, that like it would have been better for us to rewatch the whole game in a rematch, but you've got to think about the players at the end of the day. You know, they want to continue from where they left off. Sadly for us, we couldn't actually see it, but we know full well that Enix managed to take that 2-0. So it's going to be our standard, straightforward Impact versus Enix, and yeah, you know, not too much surprises. Epic did a good job anyway. They really did show what they could have done, but look at that. I think I saw Guppy there with 269 points. That's crazy.
That is insane, especially given how brief that game was, actually. But yes, like you said, finals is going to be Impact versus Enix, and then our third place match will be Broken versus Epic. I'm looking forward to both of these games, Harry. Obviously, Impact versus Enix, they are arguably the two strongest teams in the region, and then Broken versus Epic are two teams that have been performing very well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do up against each other. But we are going to go to a very short break just to set that one up for you, so don't go anywhere. The Guns of Boom third place match coming up after this. It's the third place match here in the NA Challenger Series Season 2, Week 2, where Epic and Broken are competing for those precious points. It's the difference between 50 points and 40 points, or $120 versus $80, whichever way you want to look at it. But those points are important because points mean prizes, by which I mean it's the points that are going to be qualifying these teams for Pro Series Germany later on this year, and that is what it's all about.
I've not heard the phrase points mean prizes in such a long time. I can't remember which game host it was in the UK, but I'm sure if I looked up the slogan, like a bit of a Brucey bonus, really.
Just came out, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. You know, for Epic and Broken, it's not obviously it's about the prize money, but it's also that spot into Pro Series Germany. Every point counts here. Even though it's a 10-point difference, it's going to mean the world to these guys because you don't want to leave Impact or Enix get too far ahead.
No, exactly. And just getting that tiny little bit of an edge could make all the difference later on. Obviously, as we made quite clear earlier, we believe that the best two teams did qualify for the finals, and that's going to be Impact Gaming versus Enix later on. But still, these are two great teams. Broken and Epic. And although they did get stomped, as you can see by the bracket, they got a little bit stomped there with the 2-0s by
a little bit destroyed.
Respective victors. It will be good to see if this is a closer match coming up now. And of course, it's final and third place match now, which means we're entering best out of 5 territory.
Yeah, even though Broken got pretty smashed by Impact, I kind of expected it. I think they might have expected it themselves. You've got to be realistic at the end of the day of how you actually play out that series. But Epic, they did impress me quite a lot, but that was against Enix. They didn't play against Impact, so it's hard to decide exactly how I feel about them. But Epic do look a little bit better compared to Broken. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of it's going to be based on map choice as well, looking into this series.
Right, yeah, maybe. It can make all of the difference. The way the maps are working this season is a little bit different to the previous season. I'm not sure if you were aware, obviously, as you weren't here for the first week, but actually the maps are changing every week. There's no voting or veto or anything, but every single week it's a different set of map pools for each round.
I think that's how it should be, yeah. No, I completely agree with that. It'll be nice to have a map veto system, but it takes a long time, takes a while. But then again, you kind of already have the knowledge of what people prefer and what they not prefer. And, that's the kind of hidden element to the mental game when you do the veto system on an offline event. Because if you've been to a lot of these offline events as a team or maybe just as a player for a different team, you've got all the experience in the world to understand how things will pan out. But if you're vetoing at every single online cup, it starts to make things way too obvious and it's a bit of a pain. But I think having a different map and game type at every single week is very vital.
Mm-hmm. And I am a big fan of the third place match and final map pool for this week, because as you've seen earlier on, if you're here for the EU broadcast and you're about to see now, we're going to kick off with Europe Streets, which is a very different, or creates a very different type of gameplay.
Yeah, normally an offline event, it gets banned quite a lot just due to the fact that it's not just due to the stalemate, but it's very hard to show that individual skill and that ability, and it ends up turning a little bit like into a Team Snipers game. But when it does, that's when maybe you've got the opportunity to go as a 2 as a 3, and then maybe just push around. But again, because the map's so narrow, it's quite easy to actually spot those little instances there. But Europe Streets, expected to be a slow game, maybe a few Team Sniper scenarios here and there. There'll be some little glitch spots they'll try and abuse as much as they can, depending on where they spawn and on which side and which colour. But so far from what I've seen, Epic have been very good. And I think that the aggression I've seen is also very good, almost as aggressive as Enix. But I'm not sure if it would be enough because Broken, we see him playing as Impact. Everyone gets destroyed by Impact from what we've seen so far, which is understandable. But I'm looking forward to this series. I don't know if it will be a 3-0 or 3-1. It might be one of the two, but it's hard to decide which way it will go to, though.
Well, it looks like we are just about to start. If I'm seeing little messages in the corner of my eye, starting game now. So we're going to get ready to go for this. I'm very excited to see this game. I think the Team Sniper style is very cool. Time to kill is quite long in Guns of Boom, obviously, and I don't believe that one sniper headshot is actually... It doesn't always equal a limb, does it?
No, but I think that's where we're going to see here is the fact that whoever manages to gets it off first and manages to pull back straight after.
That's Mr. Mamba.
Already, as we were saying, that Mamba gets that first frag on the board for Epic. But what can they do here? How can they capitalise? Kitty Monster is a little bit weak, but so is Emily. But gets Katen off guard from behind there. Good flank from him. And they seem to be really prepared and ready to go for that aggressive play on Europe Streets.
Yeah, that was quite the sneak attack there, as now Epic are already 40 points ahead of Broken. And Noose Pirate teams up with Emily to take down Kitty Monster, and now Broken are going to start to make a little bit of a comeback. Guppy playing a little bit of a sneaky game there, but wow, it's chaos on the staircase here.
Yeah, that spot where Guppy is one of the spots I talked about. Very annoying, but also very common. So if you know someone's there, you're not going to have a great time, but it depends how good your AR is, considering the circumstances of the lack of auto aim. But Emily now is trying to flank round, is trying to get rid of her teammates. Key Monster, so aggressive. Okay, fair play. He had the balls to actually push straight in then with no holes barred, with that no fear. But on a map like this, like I mentioned before the map started, it's very difficult, but at least he made the attempts nonetheless.
Guppy gets a nice snipe there on, I think, Format. And now Kitty Monster, perfect aim on Format there, finishing the job. A Noose Pirate takes down Kitty Monster, though. And again, the trades are continuing as Guppy takes down a Noose Pirate. Like you said, it's turning into team snipers. Emily does get the AR out and tries to take out Swagger, but takes a lot of damage herself as Elmo gets the G-Launcher on Mr. Mambo.
Yeah, Emily's definitely going to get taken down. She had 3 people all around her bottom middle. It's not something she could have done. Swagger gets another snipe from Stealth, but what I've seen so far, nice double elimination from Swagger. We can see if he can get the triple. I don't think he will there, as he will get taken down by Emily. But how has panned out so far? A bit more aggressive from what I'm normally seeing, but Guppy with an elimination streak now, and the lead is just increasing and increasing thanks to his great passive play and his aim.
Yeah, elimination streak is worth a lot of points. If Guppy can continue to survive... Oh, never mind. Emily does take down Guppy and end that streak. A Noose Pirate has got his eyes on Mr. Mamba and takes him down very efficiently there as Swagger sees Emily. Going to try and get sneak attack, gets a lot of damage in. But Format appears and a Noose Pirate finishes the job with a shotgun limb. Wow, Swagger didn't have a chance though.
He didn't have a chance at all. It was like a triangle all around him. He even turned around and knew someone was behind him, but there was already 2 people next to him anyway, so it wasn't going to happen. Nice Blade Master from Mamba there. Guppy with another one on Noose Pirate, and that's all 4 down now for Broken, and Guppy with another double elim to add insult to injury again there, but you saw one man was trying to survive her. Mamba managed to take him down. Emily got the trade. Guppy with a nice rocket there, but now trying to finish it off. Another elimination streak. This man's got to calm down.
Yeah, Guppy on a roll there. And, the trades are happening on both sides, but with Guppy, with those elimination streaks, how many? 196 points. By far the most points of any of the players on either team this game. It goes to show you why Epic are doing so well. So hats off to Guppy as Kitty Monster takes down Emily. And there we go. Final elimination takes place. Epic take the first game of the series.
Yeah, that was a shame because one of the members missed a snipe shot and Emily missed a lot of her AR shots, so it meant that she did get taken down quite easily at the end, which was a bit of a shame, even with that height advantage as well, but I think she was kind of weary about someone else near her as well, so I can understand that from a mental standpoint where if you're trying to at least try and take someone down, but you know someone's coming from the side, you're trying to get ready to actually scope across, but it just wasn't to be. But a very, very convincing performance on Europe streets. That's, very rare from what I've seen in the past, but I did say before, even though I was very impressed by Epic and what I've seen them against Enix, you saw from Broken, I wasn't really too sure. I don't know if it's because Impact were that good or Broken just had a lot of improvements that needed to be made. It seems like it is more the improvement route there.
Yeah, exactly. Broken are going to need to make a little bit of a comeback, though. It's best out of 5, plenty of time. It wasn't the most convincing performance from their direction, but hopefully it gets sorted out over the next couple games.
Yeah, I'm sure it will do. I think I saw Guppy go 10-3, even though he only contributed to 15 frags. 10-3, that is massive. That is one of the reasons why they got such a huge lead, because he barely died. And every time he had an opportunity, I'm not surprised he had 2 elimination streaks. That's where he got him from, because of the fact that he only died 3 times. He managed to come back. And also, Format Sally only had 1 elimination, but he had a lot of assists to back himself up anyway. I think it was just very hard, just in general, because I saw with Key Monster, he was very aggressive when he played a lot of the situations he was in, so he's trying to force the plays out. So even though he went neutral, that's understandable. But Format, I didn't see too much of Format there, but maybe because he was also trying to get all the snipes, but he was just mainly doing the damage rather than actually getting the actual frags done.
And that's okay, it's all a team effort. I'd rather play on a team with someone that has 10 assists and 5 kills than 10 elims and 20 deaths, sorry.
Yeah.
I said kills, I meant deaths. So yeah, you'd rather have someone there that's willing to play the support role and deal some damage, whether or not they get the elim or you get the elim. And to be honest, if one person on the team gets all the elims, that's probably a good thing, because it means they're probably getting double elims and triple elims and elimination streaks like Guppy was. If his team were just setting him up, it worked.
Yeah, no, that's right. Stats don't matter too much in terms of KDA, but it does matter to a certain extent. If it's consistently bad, or maybe if they have only got like 4 frags, but they've got like 15 assists, I'll take that any day of the week. That's perfectly fine. The only problem is it depends on how you actually play some of these matches out, because you don't want to be too consistently getting low frags, but as long as you've got the high amount of assists, that's more than understandable. And even with those 4 or 5 frags, some people may not get enough assists, but as long as they're cost-effective kills, that's another one as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing about Guns of Boom, is that every single circumstance around the elimination actually matters almost as much as the elimination themselves. I mean, we saw there was the game earlier between, I believe it was Back-to-Back and Edge, where there was 1 point. Back-to-Back needed 1 point to win.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
They did end up getting the point, but if they didn't, then they would have been thinking earlier, like, what if one of my eliminations was a Blade Master and I got an extra point that way earlier? Like, was there an easy point that I could have missed out? Like, every point does count sometimes.
Enix actually played like that quite a lot. They more go for the points, right, and let someone get a triple or let someone get a Blade Master, which is perfectly understandable, but the only problem with that is the fact that I feel like the aggression, you kind of lose the aggression a little bit in terms of how you actually want to push up and make certain moves. Because I can understand if two of you next to each other and you quickly let him do it, that's perfectly fine, perfectly fair enough. But, you may sacrifice damage, there's a lot of instances which you have to think about actually doing that. But Impact, I've not really spoke too much about how they actually play a lot of these games out. They probably do go for the point system. They maybe just a lot quicker doing it.
So just received word in my ear that somehow the game has started without our observer being in the game, which means the game is currently happening. So we're going to play some fantasy Guns of Boom here, Harry.
I reckon we can cast an imaginary game.
What do you think? I'll tell you what, Stannis certainly can. When Stannis and I were rehearsing for Brazil, we had an imaginary game. He was going off. That was very impressive. Epic won, apparently. So the score is 2-0.
What, already? What map was it? I'm curious to know what map it was, because for a map like that, okay, right, that makes perfect sense. It looks like it was Atrium, one of your most aggressive maps. So they must, the only thing I can think of is, I said it before, but they seem like more of the aggressive team. They seem to be the one with slightly better game sense and how do they actually push forward. But on a map like Atrium, that must be dangerous. That must have been 1,200 to 600 or something like that.
Okay, I've just had a correction in my ear, a change of mind or whatever. Apparently, they're going to replay. Play it again. So okay. I was told at first they were playing, and I was told who the winner is, so I thought it was just counting. But no, do you know what? We've decided, put our foot down. If they're going to play their game without our observer, then they're going to have to play that game again. Their fault.
I didn't make sense of them, because I was like, okay, if it's Atrium, maybe, but I didn't realise that 3 minutes have passed since that second game started. I thought that was a bit too quick.
They've just had a warm-up match on Atrium. Broken are going to, maybe it's an advantage to them. So they didn't know that didn't count. It is their fault for starting the game without any observer. It is their fault.
Yeah.
But they won't have known that game didn't count. So maybe now Broken, having just lost that, they can pick up, or maybe they can pick up some strategies that and be like, okay, so they played like that, right? Let's play like this time. Maybe.
Maybe, but I still don't know. I think Epic may just be a bit too strong for this team. I know, Format and the guys are very good, especially this game with the Broken squad, but I think Epic seems to be too clean cut in comparison. I'm not too sure if game type will matter. I'm hoping I'm proven wrong, because I don't want to see a 3-0 sweep. I want to see Broken try and make a comeback and see if they can get anything going here. Maybe Europe Streets isn't their best map, which, to be fair, whose best map is it? It's Europe Streets. It's just one of those game types. But I'm really hoping Broken do try and make a comeback here. But on a map like Atrium, I can see, Epic trip capping. I can see maybe getting a full setup. I don't know if Broken can break out of it. I'm hoping Broken do break the setups here and there, but we'll have to see how things pan out in map number 2.
Well, you know what, Harry? I think the Format is amazing, and by extension, I think that his team are amazing.
He's a lovely man.
I just really enjoyed working with him. If you don't follow Format and his streams and all of his social medias and things, you should do that. Format's a great guy.
Yeah, Format with a 0. It's definitely a name to remember. And his analytical work is great. But I think, as well as being a player as well as an analyst, if he's an analyst at an event, he can look at all the games, do his research. But he's kind of doing his research while he's there, which is great. So when he goes back, he can straight away, implement anything in his gameplay which he's seen, or maybe tell the rest of his teammates, and then crack on from there. So, but I'm not too sure if they've had the time to implement anything, because you've got a member. They all left on, was it the Sunday, I believe? The Sunday, they get back roughly on the Monday, or maybe halfway through, probably have a bit of rest. So they haven't really had too many days to try and transition anything across from what they've learned in Brazil to now. But I think we may see a glimpse of that over the next coming weeks.
Well, one of the things that I really did learn in Brazil about the Guns of Boom players, though, is because I was going to say, I wonder if they got home, tried to get past the jet lag, practice as much as they could. I was like, I don't need to ask you that. I know the answer to that, because when the players were in Brazil, when they weren't competing, they weren't like out and about enjoying the sunshine, enjoying Brazil. No, they were sat down all playing Guns of Boom non-stop. All they do is practice. This is their life, this game, and so it should be.
No, I'm glad for them. You've got to put as much time and effort, doesn't matter where you are in which country. I know I did the same. All I did was practice if I'm at home or at the event. Every kill is vital. But looking at it now, Epic are up 1-0. We have to see what they can do on Atrium here and format with a nice elimination to clean things up. Everyone is trying to contest B in every way they can, but Mambo, good frag from him. Swaggerman's get one as well, but Elmo and Pirate managed to get the trade here. So it looks like they will be getting that middle point, and Key Monster with a nice little double elimination to complement things.
I'm starting to wonder if there's a gentleman's agreement there. We just won't go for ASC. We'll just fight over B and pretend it's a King of the Hill game.
Yeah, I think they both had a similar start strategy. It's just that Epic managed to come out on top just a little bit. But even though they got B, it's a fight for C still. But Swagger with a nice double elim of his own. All fall down for Broken. This is their perfect opportunity for that triple elim and keep him on spawn. And Elmo knows that. He knows that as soon as he runs out, it's going to get damage done straight away. Great play from him. Managed to take out one. Key Monster with elimination streak. Had insult to injury there and a double elim on top of things. And Dan, look at the score already.
Yeah, Kitty Monster still got plenty of health as well, considering the elimination streak. If he can continue that going, Mr. Mambo though takes down Elmo. He does take a lot of damage in the meantime as Guppy takes down his Pirate. Kitty Monster does continue the streak, takes down Format, and we might see the next streak from Kitty Monster at this rate.
Wouldn't surprise me. He's been playing so well. He's such a good player as well. It's nice to see him, not just making a comeback, but really proving that he's one of the top dogs here. And as you can see, Mambo, another double elim for himself there to take things down. He's trying to get another one up. Key Monster jacking that frag with no triple elim for him. But it's like I said before, sometimes it doesn't matter too much if you want to keep that aggression. But they are going to try and take A. But then again, as you can see, C's getting contested as well. But it looks like Broken have no answer to Epic's pure aggression and their game sense and movement.
It's just too much pressure and it's constant. Swagger takes down on his Pirate, and Kitty Monster gets another double elimination on Format and Emily. It's like you said, it is just too much. 300 points away from the win, but 400 points ahead of Broken. Epic just cannot be taken down as Guppy. Now it's his turn for the double elimination, taking down Elmo and Emily.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Guppy and how he's been playing. Not just the first map, but this map as well.
Oh, that strafing there.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's what I mean. Even though the strafing on this game is quite slow, you can abuse it in multiple ways, as you saw there. Man's getting another one of his own. They're still trying to get 1 point. Finally, they managed to get C done and dusted. But again, the trades are coming in. All four down again for Broken. Map number 2 does go in favor of Epic.
Now you can see how it was so fast before.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Normally, when there's a reset or rematch, I normally see the team that's lost actually end up taking it because their mentality, they can't reset it in time, they get a little bit frustrated. Completely understandable. I've been in that side of things numerous times and I get so damn annoyed about it. But I think Epic just knew that after that the first time they played map number 2, they had a feeling that it was just going to be the same thing again.
Well, it is best out of 5, and so it is still possible for Broken to make a comeback, but it does seem as though, and you alluded to this earlier, I'm going to sort of repeat what you said and rephrase it a little bit, it does look like there is a quite clear skill gap between Epic and Broken.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Broken need to do here. I feel like their coordination isn't really on par. Sometimes they're going around as a 2, but sometimes single-handedly as well. I think they need to have a bit better communication, some small talk. Small talk is definitely required for this team because it makes, miracles sometimes in certain circumstances. But as you can see there, Mambo contributing to 17, love my maths, 17 frags over 150 points. But Emily did a good job as well, but it just wasn't enough to help out the side of Broken. But it really is going to come from maps, especially for Broken. I think TDMs they need to look more into. I think any control points they need to maybe stay away from. But like you said before, Dan, the maps, the cycle, it's already been set in stone. So if they see one of these 3 games that they don't like, they might already be demoralised.
Yeah, it's not a great position to be in, honestly. Like, you always feel a little bit tilted in a series when you're this far behind. And I do like to say, it's best out of 5, which means there is time to make a comeback. But it's just so hard, and especially in a game like Guns N' Boom where we're always saying skill gap is so wide, it's so important. You do tend to see a lot of 2-0s, 3-0s, even 4-0s in best out of 7s. It's a real big hurdle to get over for Broken.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what you said there, because due to the fact that I mentioned before as well, if it's a TDM, maybe they can come back, but they've got what they wanted, but they need to reverse sweep here to get that third place spot. But look at that, Key Monster with an instant double.
Triple make that
elimination
a triple.
now, and could have gone for that 4 at once, but Swagger, cheeky guy, managed to stop that from happening, but already fall down again for Broken. It's not looking good, not just for this map, but for the entire series for these guys.
Preemptive grenade that didn't quite work out as Emily takes down Swagger, Format takes down Mr. Mamba. But Kitty Monster gets the revenge on Format there, and Guppy now coming out. And we're at that point again where the trades go the other way. Broken are low on health, and so Epic are getting the elims. Double there from Guppy. Elma does take Guppy down though, and now it's up for the rest of Epic to continue this streak. But they're only 20 points ahead, you know, this could still go the other way. But another double elim from Epic.
Yeah, this map's gone very quick, a lot quicker than I expected. You know, the start of it has just been absolutely left, right, and centre. But Pirate, good trade from him there. That was very difficult considering the circumstance he was in. A double elimination. He's going to be looking for the third, but I'm not sure if he'll find it. It might be a little bit too late, but he might be able to take one of them down if he flanks quick enough. But he knows he's there. Probably will get taken down there. That would be Elmo and Format there. And Pirate as well. So they have made that comeback. That's 3 down for Epic, but they need to get set up nicely here. But it's way too late. Guppy going straight in, making sure that doesn't happen, and a nice snipe from Elmo as he gets taken down by Mamba afterwards.
Guppy ran straight into that, but now Mamba and Kitty Monster back on a roll again. The News Pirate does take down Mr. Mamba though, reloading the sniper, getting ready to go again, but Swagger with this great position here behind the pallet mows down Emily.
Yeah, a little bit unaware, Emily, there, which was a bit of a shame. I think she heard the call out for someone on across the map, but at the same time she looked. Sadly, it wasn't the case, but double elim there. As you saw, Emily managed to get one off her own, maybe managed to get Mamba, but she's a little bit weak. She's doing the right thing, waiting for her teammates to give her a hand, get that double damage dosage going, and as you can see there, Key Monster managed to get one. Elmo gets the trade on Mamba, but look, it's Key Monster with a double. It's going to go for the triple here. He misses a few shots, but it doesn't matter. Guppy managed to clean up for him anyway.
Yeah, not quite as good as getting the triple elimination, but it's still okay. 80 points ahead now for Epic. Going to be tough for Broken to take this one back, though. Format gets the shotgun elim on Kitty Monster there. Elmo takes down Swagger, and it looks like Broken are sort of gaining control here. That G-Launch didn't do all that much. Trade there between Elmo and Mr. Mamba. Looks like Broken, the members of Team Broken, though, quite low on health across the board. Maybe they just got eliminated, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, Broken has given it again. Emily, a bit unaware of that ramp. I think it's literally just time luck, really, because every time she's turned around, someone then goes up the ramp and then managed to get her down. It wasn't a bad play from her, it's just really bad timing. I've seen that before. It's happened to me in the past, and it's happened to most people. It is so annoying when that does happen. But Broken are literally broken in pieces right now. They're all spread out all across the spawn, waiting for Epic to come out. But Epic, I suppose they won't mind that. As long as they keep trading out the frags and not worrying about too much about what's going to happen afterwards, they should be fine here.
Yeah, it's as long as they don't do something completely reckless and start running into traps, it's not going to be possible for Broken to take this one back now. Guppy takes down Format there. Mr. Monster ends up in a 2-in-1 fight and actually takes them both down.
How? That was great. No, don't get me wrong, that was great stuff from him. A little bit miscommunication and misaims there, but as you see, Key Monster, all 3 of those maps really going in hard. Great job from him, but yeah, that 1v2, there's some 1v2s I've seen like in some of these matches, and I'm just like, how, why? They should not have happened. But, you know, maybe that aim was just a little bit off, but I think by that point they felt like it was done and dusted.
Well, there you go. Epic take the 3rd place, and Broken, whose spirits are probably feeling a little bit broken after that, take 4th place. But, you know, it's still points. It's still prize money. Epic taking 50 points and Broken taking 40 points. It's nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever, but I'm looking forward already to this finals between Enix and Impact Gaming.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a NA broadcast if we didn't see Impact versus Enix. It's pretty much set in stone. They love a good grand final in these cups. But, from what we've seen from Epic and Broken, I've been very impressed. I want to see what Epic can do over the next few weeks to see if they can improve that a little bit more. I think they've definitely got the potential to get that second spot. It's a matter of how they want to do it and how much practice these guys put in, because Enix have a very strong work ethic. So does Impact as well. But Broken, it's a tough one. I think there's a lot of change that needs to be made, not minor but major in terms of what they need to do. What they need to do, because there's a few instances there where I was like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? Why are they playing so passive? And there were some times where they had the advantage but didn't push through it. So I felt like they weren't really too sure as a team collectively what they wanted to do. But with Epic, well done for the third place spot as well, but I look forward to see what they do in the future.
We're going to take a look at the bracket one more time for those of you just joining us. Impact Gaming took down Broken in semi-final number 1. Enix took down Epic with the 2-0 in semi-final number 2. Then a 3-0 between Epic and Broken, which means there's only one match left. Coming up today, Impact Gaming versus Enix, the grand finals of the America's Cup. Challenger Series Season 2, Week 2. Harry, you're so good at this. Prediction. Score. What's the score going to be?
I reckon Impact are going to 3-1 or 3-0. Straight.
You actually think, so you're going to say 3-0 this time?
I'm going to say 3-1 or 3-0. I'm not sure because...
hedging a little bit.
Thanos is back now on the team. Like, when I say back, I mean, obviously he wasn't at the last event in Brazil, but he's here now. He's one of their strongest fraggers. So, there's a lot of things Enix can do here. I hope Enix can put up a great fight against Impact because we know how strong they are, but... going to be a tasty one.
One final match coming up today. It's the grand final of the Americas broadcast. Impact Gaming versus Enix. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments. It's time for the final match of the day, Harry. It's the big one. It's Enix versus Impact Gaming to decide who will win the NA Cup for Week 2 of Season 2. And you think it's going to be a 3-0 or 3-1 with Impact Gaming taking it down. Is that right?
That is right, but I would like to be wrong. I would like to see Enix kind of like win one of these cups because they are the next strongest outside of Impact. They've got the players, they've got the potential, but it's a matter of how they can actually work things across. And, you know, it's hard work because Impact is so good. When you've got that much confidence, it's a bit of a mental thing, really, like, especially with your mentality and how you see things. When you've got a lot of confidence in yourself, normally the gun skill kind of flows with it, which is quite nice. And if you're not too sure, a little bit static about how you think a match is going to pan out, that's where your gun skill can actually drop. Of course, you need to have the natural ability as well, but the confidence just complements it. And, you know, all four of these guys, you know, Venom, Corrupt, Gentrix and Aerial, they're all such good players. Every single one of them can go off at any time. And that's just really worrying, like, considering. Don't get me wrong, you may get some teams where 2 may pop off, or 1 or 3, but all 4, like, you know, it's hard work. And I can see why the NA region have a lot to contend with here.
Yeah. You know, they're playing for a lot of money as well. It's $400 for first place. That's $100 per player, to make that clear. But more importantly, as we keep saying, 100 points. And these points add up week by week. You know, if you're winning this tournament every week, you're all but guaranteed to be making it to Pro Series Germany later this year.
Yeah, I think as it gets to a stage where if Impact win 3 or 4 in a row, they're going to be happy, they're sorted. All the money they win for the next cuts, they can use spending money, going to Concert Boom or maybe Pro Series Germany. But the NA region need to really not just play consistently all the time in autopilot or talk about the strategies themselves. They need to look at what the other teams do. Really focus on Impact and how they manage to execute a lot of the things they do. It's so important. Every time, I don't know, for example, like if I came like second or third down an event, I'd be like, why? Why did this happen? And I would spend like 1 or 2 hours per map going through every single situation as to why they did this, how they did this, did they prep it, did they not? Was it a game sense thing or was it not? And there's so many little things to, you know, which could contribute to that effect. But, you know, for these guys, sometimes when you do compete at a high level, there was times where, you know, you may watch more VODs and do more research than actually playing. I know some FPS titles or some esports titles in general actually do that. They spend more time on researching rather than actually playing, which isn't really so bad because when you do play a lot of especially Guns of Boom, you kind of get to a certain peak, but you can rise above that depending on how much prep you have done.
It's really funny because when you talk about what you would do if you came second or third in a tournament, you'd go back and you'd analyze and all of that. If I came second or third in a Guns of Boom tournament, I would then wake up because that was a dream because I was in a Guns of Boom tournament. These guys would, as we jump into our first game of the final series. It's going to be Europe Streets once again. Optimus takes a lot of damage straight away there as Gentrix is getting ready to finish the job by the looks of things. It's going to creep out, but Goku's there ready to take him down. This could go either way with the standoff.
It really could. A very slow start here. Optimus must get taken a lot of damage there. A couple of players have, but on Impact Gaming. But look what Gentrix is doing. He's pushing back just a little bit, just to play with Goku just ever so slightly to make him push out. But it's purely Team Snipers here. It's already 35 seconds in and no scores happen. Finally, Goku gets the first frag on the board after 40 seconds of play.
Taking down Gentrix, which is not how I would expect the game to start. But there you go. It's 20-0 as the game slows right down again. Both of these teams are playing this so slowly, much slower than we've seen in the last few times that we've seen this. But Goku gets a second limb there on Corrupt. Venom going to try and sneak and take down J-Master, but J-Master gets the headshot there.
It looks like Impact aren't used to this. You know, we saw a nice double limb from J-Master there, but you know, Enix, they obviously prepared for this. Impact are a very aggressive team. They're not used to playing these kind of stalemate situations. Nice G launcher there from Corrupt and a snipe from Venom, and now it's slightly getting a little bit messy. Now Impact are feeling more of their game, but even though they caught up just a little bit, Impact need to try and find a way to try to overtake Enix here.
Aerial
from Aerial.
Aerial does a great job there, yeah, with the double elimination. But now Goku on the other side. Goku doing some great work this game. Gets a double elimination of his own as Corrupt comes around the corner. That seemed a little bit risky, sticking his head out like that, but he was fine as Gentrix gets a great hit on Optimus. Now he needs to finish the job or find someone to finish the job as Aerial and Optimus having a bit of a standoff. Wow, okay. Optimus takes down Gentrix while Aerial takes down Optimus, but Aerial does convert that into a double elimination.
And that's 3 down now, so the last member there doesn't matter anyway because J-Master managed to take him down. But Gentrix is trying so hard to try and flank bottom mid or try and push through, but he cannot find an opening. Enix seems to be very aware in that kind of circumstance. And not just another nice frag from him. Ariel's trying to clean up here. Will he do it? Oh, he just barely doesn't. Thanos was there to make sure he gets to trade, but Corrupted traded back on that as well. Very tight game. This could potentially go to the time limit.
Just while you were talking then, it just like tied up and then got ahead again, and then tied up again, and then got ahead again. And okay, now it looks like Enix are getting a little bit of a lead there with 50 points on the board ahead. Now it's only 30 points though with Gentrix getting that AR elim. And J-Master takes on Gentrix. Thanos takes down Venom. Okay, they are solidifying their lead once more.
Yeah, Thanos trying to do what he can here because with that spot in the boxes, it's very difficult. I think he expected him to actually shoot for the gap, but he didn't. Just poked out and managed to finish him off anyway. But Impact slowly making that comeback here. Managed to get 3 taken down. Double a limb there, as you saw from Corrupt, but now almost tying things up.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't expect it to be tied up quite as severely as this, as now Gentrix find himself in a 2-on-1. Looked like he got the G-Launcher out there and dealt some serious splash damage, as J-Master and Thanos do get some eliminations, creeping further and further ahead again, but Venom takes down Optimus. He's going to be pushing J-Master here, turns around because someone's behind him, does take down Goku with the Blade Master and gets eliminated himself. Oh, it's close, Harry.
Yeah, they're trying to do everything they can. Impact, I like what they're doing, like to try and throw out a few AR shots and then pull him back so they can't actually snipe him and reset the lock-on, which is perfectly fair enough. Gentrix there, nice double. That will definitely help things out. 13-point gap, but as I say that, J-Master with a great double, nice triple elimination from him. Almost got 4 at once, but Thanos managed to clean things up, and this could be an Enix map.
Yeah, that triple elimination looks like it's pretty much sealed the deal as long as things don't go drastically wrong for Enix now, which does seem like it should be unlikely. But of course, Impact are going to play as carefully as they can to make sure that they don't get that last elimination. Ariel does take down J-Master, but Optimus takes down Venom. 1 point to go, and Impact Gaming take it away.
That was, yeah, very strange as well because we saw it was back and forth, but Impact Gaming just couldn't find an opening. I liked how Enix were very defensive, but obviously spoke about exactly what they should be positioned at and what they need to prioritize as well. Because US Streets, it is very difficult. I saw Gentrix trying to, multiple times, just trying to, have a little look to see if he can peek out. But as soon as it does try and peek out and try and push through or try and make something happen, Enix was always there to try and capitalize on it. It was very difficult.
It was such a slow and calculated game. Like we kept finding ourselves in this position where there's like 2 players just both ready to pick each other, and sometimes there were 2 players from one team ready to pick one person on the other team, and there was this like weird triangle of sniper shots going on. What's really interesting to me about Europe Streets and these sort of snipe-off maps in particular is because we talk about how the health works and how the teams tend to trade back and forth. But when it's all sniper trades happening, you tend to find that a player eliminates another player quite often without taking any damage. So I guess the comebacks are more likely to happen in a game like that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I think Enix is kind of one of their maps in terms of like their standpoints. They're a very methodical team compared to the aggressive team, but you saw Impact really wanted to show their style, but Europe Streets, it's so hard, it's so narrow, it's so hard to even execute some of those plays. But Enix, it's very easy for them to kind of get a bit carried away and then start pushing in as well. But they held the setup there perfectly fine. A bit annoying, bit of a pain in the backside, playing against that kind of style. But it's one of those things, if it works, But Europe Streets is done now, so what will Enix do next? I'm glad they won the first map. Yeah. I'm hoping they can go forward. But now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of the maps now.
It would make a nice change, actually, to see Enix take down Impact Gaming. Impact Gaming, who we would consider generally the better team. You were saying 3-0 or 3-1, though, as you hedged your bets there. So on the quiet, you're like, right, okay, now Impact Gaming get the 3-0, so my prediction was correct. Well, Harry, I am determined to see that your prediction is wrong one more time. So I'm hoping to see Enix take at least 1 more map, if not 2 more, and take the series. That would be cool.
No, I'm the same. Like, to be fair, I would like to be wrong as well. I'm hoping that it does go to a game 5, or maybe Enix even take the series in. Maybe some weird 3-0. We have some weird things happen in these cuts, but we've seen a lot of consistency with the NA region, and seeing Enix win instead will definitely be a big one, even though they're normally in that top 2 state of mind. One of those kind of gatekeepers for the grand finals. But yeah, it's going to be a weird one. It depends which map it's going to be. I feel like Enix may struggle on something something like Farming Complex or especially Atrium, because we know how good Impact are on those maps. If it's another TDM, Enix will probably be a little bit more happy about that. It's kind of a stepping stone to actually get things going, but
I believe it's
be a weird
Atrium
one.
up next. Well, I'm assuming it's following the same pattern as the other third place matches and final matches we've had. Atrium, the chaos, the control points. What does that mean, Harry?
Oh, well, what can we say? With Atrium, it's pick your poison in this kind of stage. It's either, with how aggressive it is, you've got your game sense has got to be absolutely spot on. Your individual ability has got to come out really strong as well. And definitely when it comes to teaming up to go into 2s and 3s, actually getting the points and how and when you should get them. And it's a lot of distractions are also required as well. You've got to make it as hectic as possible, because normally the more hectic it is, normally the better team normally comes out from there. But yeah, we see some weird ones. We see some start strategies where some of the teams will go straight for the B point, go for the hardest one, because they know some players will go for A or C, as their opponents would, and then it's more of the advantage in terms of the numbers game when they actually push in. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to it. But if Enix win Atrium, that will be interesting. I hope I am wrong.
Be exciting to see. Apologies for taking so long to start the next match. We're just having a couple technical issues, but we're just getting that sorted. But we're not just talking because we know that you like to hear us talking. We know you want to see the game.
We want to see the games as much as you do.
We want to see the game as well. We want to see what Enix is capable of next. But we are going to get to that as soon as possible. Harry, I mentioned earlier, I really like watching King of the Hill. Do you have a favorite map or favorite game type that you like to see in Guns of Boom?
It's a weird one. Like, I do love Paradise Island. That's like one of my favourites.
Oh, I do.
Long as I get side B, then I'll be I'll play Paradise Island all day. Europe Square, I kind of quite like that because I like the larger scale objective maps, because that's where I feel like your skill can kind of flow through. TDMs I'm not too keen on, but probably one of my personal favourites might be Skyscrapers. But we spoke about the objective game types before. It will be Atrium, so will Enix manage to take a second map, or will Impact be able to equalise here?
Oh, Optimus gets corrupt straight away. Venom takes back Thanos, and now Optimus and J-Master both getting eliminations there. It's very evenly split. Trades happening all across the board as Impact seem to be taking B. Nope, they got eliminated by Goku.
And still, they're all contesting B. B hasn't even been captured yet. It might do. No, as I said, Optimus with another double there. Back-to-back doubles from him. Been very impressed with Optimus so far, and it's still staying alive. How is he not dead? Finally gets taken down, but I think the damage has been done. 3 down now. A double elim for J-Master. Impact, they're struggling here.
He's still not captured. However, Enix were able to capture both A and C, and although Impact Gaming are contesting that now, B now finally being taken by Enix. Enix just have complete control of this game so far, Harry.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's just Venom with a triple elimination from him to make a comeback here. Looking for that 4 at once isn't going to happen as Gentrix gets that last frag. So that's all 4 down now for Enix. Impact are trying to do their best to suffocate them, pin him on spawn, make sure it's really having a tough time to come out. And another double elim now. Instead of Venom, it is going to Gentrix here. And the scores are already nearly tied up with an elimination streak on the end of Venom.
Wow, yeah, Venom still on a roll here. As Ariel does take on J-Master, but J-Master with the high ground takes him down. Thanos takes down Venom, and again Enix, although it looked like Impact Gaming was starting to catch up, Enix are just getting a steady lead one more time, but Gentrix gets the Blade Master on Thanos. Doesn't quite turn it into a double elimination. However, Venom does get a double elim with the Blade Master there, and now Impact Gaming find themselves in the lead.
Yeah, this is crazy so far. Don't know what's going to happen towards the end of this game. Hopefully it will stabilise
What just
around the
happened?
1,000-point mark.
Did you see how many shots he just missed?
I did, yeah. I think they're all kind of panicking a little bit as well because it's getting so hectic. They're all trying to get so many different points. Goku with a double of his own. Thanos as well gets 1, and that's 3 down now for Impact. So Impact need to try and make sure to stabilise that a little bit more. And as you saw, Ariel and Gentrix, again, more frags on the board. Increasing that lead further and further. 3 down for Enix, and this is why I said it before. Normally around this margin, this is where you see the points kind of like separating a little bit more, because eventually one team's going to come out further, and it seems like Impact, after a really bad start, is starting to have a very good end.
Well, like you said, I think it's panicking from Enix at this point. They had control and they've lost it. Thanos just missed so many shots with the AR in that little one-on-one earlier. Venom now, once again, on an elimination streak. Really on a roll this game. Enix do get a couple eliminations there. Thanos looks looks like he's going to get taken down, but J-Master doing a lot of damage with the assault rifle there.
Venom is on 315 points. It should be illegal for him to play this map. He's doing so well here. And again, Venom another frag. Aerial, Thanos managed to get the trade-off, but it's too little too late. 29 points left. Eventually, Impact Gaming will be cleaning this up, and they do. And they managed to equalise things. Venom, man, you need to calm down, mate. Literally. He's really sitting there with the shades now thinking I've pretty much doubled the score of everyone else. 331 with Gentrix now just like the next person behind with 160 something, 7 or 164, but yeah, I don't know what to say. That is crazy how much work he put in it. I would love to, if there was ever like a damage dealt in your stats, I would love to have seen what his would have been.
Do you think he even plays with the shades at home?
I don't think he does, but I reckon he may put him on when he wins or something on his own, thinking, yeah, I did that. He's probably putting him on now, considering the amount of points he just got, but that was ridiculous. 300 and something points at this high tier level. It's absolutely unheard of, but we've got the other stats here. Corrupt didn't do too bad. Aerial went 6 and 8 as well, and Thanos went 5 and 9, but I feel like if the stats aren't that great for the other half of Impact, maybe Venom was just on cleanup duty, maybe just getting the broom out and just cleaning everything up.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying
15 and 6.
You're saying that that's amazing. You're saying that he needs to calm down. I'm sure that Venom himself disagrees with you, and I'm sure that Venom's team also disagree with you. They would like very much for him to continue this going. They've tied up the score 1-1. This is a best out of 5 for the grand finals, but Impact Gaming taking their first step towards victory. They're going to want to continue the momentum going for Enix. Enix who were ahead in that map and lost it and really started to fall apart towards the end of the game. They need to pick themselves up and sort this out for the next one.
I would love to have watched that from Venom's point of view, just watch it. I know I'm focusing on just one person. Normally they all pop off, but Venom just went absolutely insane. Like the things he must have done, like he must have caught him off guard all the time, must have got a lot of time lock on his side. His aim must have been absolutely on point, but you know, you normally expected something a little bit like that from Gentrix, but I think Venom's going to be loving his KD after this series.
Yeah, going to be flexing that one, I'm sure, and showing it off to everyone else. Or show me the Harry we got.
Oh, well, I haven't really got much, to be fair, but I haven't been to the gym for about 3 years. But Venom's definitely doing that now. But yeah, like
He's at the gym now?
Pardon?
He's at the gym now?
Maybe.
Flexing at the gym?
Oh, flexing at the gym.
Like while playing Guns of Boom? Is he like on a bench press and just like...
I suppose he might be, but then his points probably wouldn't be as high as it should be. But we're going to a third map now. TDM, more like Enix will probably enjoy here, but look at this, 3 members of Enix are in the middle, but looks like Impact aren't going to fall for it. They might get trapped inside this middle point here. Oh dear, then Corrupt with a snipe, a double for him as well, but Thanos and J-Master does manage to get another one, but Venom sadly steals Corrupt's triple. Thanos managed to finish things off here. So great start from Impact going into map number 3.
On a roll. Optimus ready to take down Corrupt the moment he peaks, although he is behind a wall there, so it's not going to happen straight away. Corrupt and Gentrix both trying to find the angles, but Aerial gets snuck up on, wow, words, by 2 members of the team there. Optimus takes down Gentrix, and it's tight. There's only 4 points in it at the moment, but that's soon going to change. Yeah, they've tied things up, but Enix are very weak here, so it's only going to be a matter of time before Impact push in, and as I said, a double elim there from Corrupt, and it's just going to push in further. Got to be a little bit careful with respawn immunity pushing in, but they know that. They know better than I do about this game, just to wait for them and then get that first shot. And as you saw there, Corrupt finally gets taken down. He's on 90 points so far, and it's only been 1 minute and 15 into the game. That's pretty incredible, as Aerial manages to sort of get a sneak attack on Enix. Oh, the good grenade. Does lose the 3-on-1, but dealt a lot of damage in the process, which is good for the future of the match. You know, it does set up his team to finish them off, hopefully. Corrupt does finish off someone there. Goku gets the elimination streak, wow.
That's a great time to get a elimination streak. He did have a double limb as well, just to help things
1 point in it.
And 1 point in it, yeah, you're right. But as we say that, Enix trying to get one on the board. 2 points now between both these teams. I said it before, Enix seems to be a little bit better with these TDM game types because they don't get toppled too much by the aggression. This is more their kind of style. And even though they're good at objective as well, Impact are just so much better here. But we'll have to see how things pan out as Venom is tempted to push in, but they know a lot of the members of Enix are hiding in their base.
Does deal a lot of damage to Thanos there, but Gentrix gets him from behind with a trade by the looks of things. Aerial takes on J-Master, and Impact Gaming still ahead, but not by much, as Goku takes down Corrupt, and again, it's only 4 points in it. Venom with the G-Launcher does take down Optimus, but walks into a bit of a trap there.
I do like it as well. Enix are sticking together quite well, but it's not helping so much here towards the end. Goku's trying to finish one off so he doesn't. Impact finally get the lead they're looking for, and they haven't really taken too much damage here, which is great stuff from them, but we're going to see how Enix are going to push out here, because as you see there, two of them are waiting to get that snipe kill, just to at least get two snipe shots there, at least pick one of them off. But you saw G-Launcher from Aerial there, he's going straight and he's not messing about at all. Man's getting a nice double in for himself, but Goku and J-Master get some important trades, but Gentrix getting taken down there.
Yeah, it's Goku sneaking up on him with the Blade Master quite nicely. Aerial running around the corner, trying to support the teammates, finds Goku. Is he going to follow him? Yes, he is, but there's several members of Enix in that center room. Optimus finds Gentrix, but with low health does lose to him, but the Blade Master from behind by J-Master takes him down. It looks like he might get the double here. Yep, gets the double on Aerial. Can he find the triple? He's on fire. Nope, he's just gonna get eliminated.
Yeah, that is right. That Incinerator can be a pain in the backside, especially if you're so weak. And as you saw, he was trying to find a way to do so much damage as he can before he gets taken down. Sadly, wasn't the case. But 15 points between these two teams. It's going to be a little bit slow. It's going to be a lot slower now. 1 point difference between these two teams. Also, with a great snipe, but Corrupt gets one of his own. Goku's pushed in with the Avalanche. He's trying to get behind him. J-Master managed to help out. 7 point between these two teams. And we're going to see exactly what's going to happen. A double win we saw there right at the very end to finish things off. And TDMs are still helping him out, as you saw there.
Wow, well, it looked like Impact Gaming did take that one, but it was close. This is not the series that we were expecting. This is the series we want, right? This is the close, tight-knit, anything can happen type of map that we want. Well, it's the series that you want, because you want to see the 3-1 finish.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to be wrong anyway, but actually Enix was the one who won that, because I think they got a double elimination at the end, so I assume...
it's so hard to tell during the game, but yeah, we're seeing in the corner of our screen here. So no Enix to take the win. So you were wrong again, Harry.
But I was right about the TDMs.
Yeah, but still wrong.
Yeah, I'm wrong. I'll admit it. You know,
I was wrong about who won the last game. So what do I know?
I can predict the winner, but I can't predict the score. But that's always going to be the story of my life. But anyways, looking at the stats, Venom did a good job there, contributing to 14 frags with going -1, but I'll take that enemy dead of the week. Venom went neutral, contributing to 15, but Goku, look at that. 17 frag contribution, going +4, and he did so many good plays there, so many double limbs, especially right at the very end, so important. And this could be the game 5 finally, which we're looking for, depending on how Impact do in this game. But I think in these best of 5s, I think it's two TDMs and 3 objectives. So, you know, Enix still have 2 opportunities to try and, you know, clean things up and try and like take away of it. Because if they win this cup, this will be huge for them.
If I remember rightly, the next one is King of the Hill on the map. I can't remember what it's called, the train map.
Oh, Subway.
Subway, that's right. London Subway? Just Subway? Just Subway.
We'll just call it Subway. It doesn't look like a London Underground I've seen before.
Yes, with the King of the Hill, which is I've been saying I really like King of the Hill. I like King of the Hill because I find Control Point very difficult to follow, with obviously the teams scattering around going for both sides. But I really like King of the Hill because you've got 1 point to focus on, 1 point to keep an eye on. That's what matters about the game, which team can defend it best. And I just find it really fascinating to watch. Yeah,
because with Control Point, it's a bit different. Also, with the 3 points there, you know, you want to try and like grab another one to distract the other team, and it's a lot of... That's why it's so hectic and so messy, because everyone is literally everywhere. They're all trying to put each other off in so many ways with so many distractions. But with the hill, you see a lot of times where the team will grab the hill, but they'll just bait it out just to make it look as though no one's there, but someone is, and they're trying like, you know, I think with King of the Hill, there's a lot more mind games, but with Control Point, there's a lot more distraction-orientated play and game sense to follow that through.
Well, here we go, Harry. It looks like we are jumping into this game right now. Can Enix get the job done and take down Impact Gaming with a 3-1 win? Let's find out.
Yeah, it looks like they took a lot on board from what they've learned in Brazil to go through, but straight away 2 down now for Impact. Corrupt, don't get me wrong, managed to take 1 back, so at least it slow things down a little bit more, but we'll have to see how things go from there. They do have the point, yeah. I think they were trying to bait it out and try and make him think they weren't pushing in, but they're pushed in anyway, and all the trades have come in. That's 3 down for Enix, a double there for Corrupt as he gets taken down. But it's going to be a 1v1, a very important 1v1, and J-Master gets a double limb and hopefully the point here.
Yeah, doing the best he can to just survive and hold down. Yes, does get the point as Impact come rushing in. Gentrix down the side does find Optimus and Thanos. Can he take Thanos down as well? Yes, looks like he can. That's the double. That's a triple elimination by taking down Goku as well. And now Impact very securely have the point. Gentrix not going to find the 4 at once, but still his work here is done as Impact now have a steady-ish lead.
Oh, a double one things, but triple is just, you know, just helping things out even more. So the J-Master there, another one, and Ariel now managed to get a sniper across, but Ariel's doing the best he can. He gets a double. I don't think it's a bit too late for the triple now, but at least get some damage done. As you just realise, someone's in the subway. Goku, massive damage against him, but, you know, Ariel's in the hill, and he's still doing all this damage, but the best thing is he's got no armour left. He's only got HP, but he's seeing back to the rest of his teammates, still doing so much damage across, which is great stuff from him, and again, another frag on the board.
Impact just seems to be dominating at this point. Enix really need to work together to get this point back in order to get some points to catch up against Impact just a little bit. Corrupt still sitting on the hill, and now Enix are rushing in. Gentrix does rush in himself though, does get taken out by Optimus though. Triple elimination from Optimus, who's gonna... Oh, I thought he was going to get the 4 at once then. Didn't quite get it.
Yeah, J-Master just stole it, you naughty man, but it doesn't matter anyway, because as you can see, the score difference is still way too high, and even though they get the point now, now's their opportunity. They've got to bait the hill as much as they can, trying to put Impact Gaming in so many awkward spots, but that wasn't the case, as you saw correctly, with a double elim. That's 4 down for Enix, and now the points is going to very nicely and very steadily increase for Impact.
Yep, as long as Enix can't get that point, the point lead is going to get further and further, exactly. Although, quite a few members of Impact being taken down there. Corrupt does get the snipe on Thanos, but Goku looks like he's taking this point. Can he live long enough to get it? No, he can't. Corrupt takes him down, and Enix finds Corrupt and Ariel, and they do get taken down.
Look at the point distribution on the actual Impact side. It's all very similar and very close. They're all putting in their effort. And as I say that, Thanos with a triple. This is their time. They need to get something done. They need to keep him on spawn. They need to suffocate him and put him as pressure as possible. Get that damage dealt as much as they can. Or else it's going to be too late and it will get to that game 5. But what a great play from Thanos. Managed to get that streak, but I think it's going to be a little bit too little too late. Enix have taken way too much damage, and I think Impact will be taking this map 4 to go to map number 5 here.
Enix are going to do whatever they can to hold on to this point and to survive, but with only 27 points remaining, make that just 7 points remaining. Corrupt's going to get that elimination, and yes, we are going all the way to game number 5 in this final game of the series. And Harry, this could not be more exciting.
That's right. It was quite a convincing win from Impact. I think some of the boys there weren't too happy about that last game, that last map. But I just don't think their strong point is TDM. Like the first map on Euro Streets, it's very slow. You know, it's not really their play style and how they actually play things out. Map number 2, you saw Impact were just smashing it left, right, and centre. The third one, again, it was quite close. But Enix, it's more their kind of style, slow but methodical, and how you should plan things out. Map number 4, again, quite an aggressive objective. Not the most, but definitely up there as one of the top 2 aggressive game types. Managed to smash it out of the park again. But is this map number 5? I'm very curious of what it's going to be and how things are going to pan out.
And we're going to be finding out very, very soon. I believe this is the first match today, at least in the EU and NA broadcast, that have gone all the way to the final possible game. I think every single best out of 3 was a 2-0. And we did have we had a 3-1 in one of the best out of 5s in the EU broadcast, but this one finally we're seeing what we want to see, which is all the way to game 5.
Yeah, because I haven't seen any Europe Square at all. I'd love to see that because I feel like if Enix do get Europe Square, they may have more of a chance. If it's a smaller objective-based map, then I can maybe understand that Impact may take it. But if it's like Europe Square or maybe Farming Complex, I'm not sure. Then we'll have to see what happens. But you know, I wouldn't mind one of those 2 maps.
So Harry, Impact Gaming coming off the back of winning Pro Series Brazil now find themselves in a do or die situation. It is the last game. Do you think Enix have what it takes to take down these Titans?
If you said at Brazil, I would have been like, I don't think so. But like from what I've seen so far, I've been quite impressed. But again, it's only TDMs they've actually won so far. The objectives, a little bit of a landslide for Impact. It's more their play style. But that's why we've got such a wide variety of different game types. So those different teams with the different styles, it works in favour of them. But looking at it now, is this going to be Skyscraper's TDM possibly? It is. So, you know, Enix will be very happy about this, considering the circumstances. But now it's going to be a lot of stalemates. There's going to be a lot of slow plays. Impact won't be a fan of it, but we'll see what happens as they do get that first frag on the board.
Yep, Aerial takes down Optimus. Corrupt takes down J-Master. That's a good start for Impact Gaming, as it looks like they found Thanos and Corrupt's taken him down as well. Optimus gets Corrupt, but still, Enix have a lot of work to do to catch up. J-Master sneaks up on Venom, though. Gets the Blade Master. Can he do any more? His health is quite low.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do here, because that top mid control is so important. But Enix have been very aggressive here on this one. I think they're trying to catch him off guard, but before he got taken down, Thanos managed to get that G-Launcher out as quick as he could, but it's not looking very good for Enix here, as Impact do have quite a lot of health and armor still going into this next wave, and that top mid control is still quite dominant, but Aerial and Corrupt are quite weak, so they need to focus on getting that top mid control now before it's too late.
Optimus going to try and get into the center point of the map. Does take down Goku. Can he... Oh, Corrupt's going to take down Goku, sorry. Thanos takes down Corrupt. Venom takes down Thanos. It's very back and forth at the moment, as Goku, as soon as he spawns, running straight back to the point. Optimus going to defend the center room.
Oh wow, look at this. Everyone from Impact, at least 3 members pushed in there, but even though they got 2 down, they also got traded off. But Gentry did manage to stay alive, but he needs to stay alive a little bit more, but sadly gets taken down. There's still 2 members in that top mid spot, and they need to try and find a way to flank round. They're not really going high side. Enix are more focused on the AR game and just going around the bottom to try and see if they can catch them off guard, because you can't really see the counter model that well from where they're standing, as you just saw from there. But scores are very close. Goku managed to help things out a little bit more. J-Master, if he takes this one down as well, it'll really do a big hand here. But now, only 43-point difference. Now, 28 between the 2 teams.
Yeah, Thanos still looking good. Gentrix gets a nice snipe on Optimus there. Going to try and finish the job, following him up behind without taking any damage. That's a very valuable limb to get. Going to find Thanos as well on low health. Gets the double on Thanos. Still got half of his armor left. Finds Goku, and this is going to be a little bit tighter, so he's going to back away there. Smart. Goku finds Aerial and almost takes him down. Thanos takes him down with his help.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see exactly how they're going to try and push each other, because they'll get out to mid control, but they don't really push too much on spawn, which is completely understandable. Why would you push? You want to hold that setup. And Goku does a little bit of a hand there, managed to get another one back. J-Master is quite weak, so we'll let Optimus go first, or maybe wait for someone else to give him a hand. He's just waiting for another player just to maybe go in front, or at least sit back enough to get the damage done. But Goku, as you saw there, doing such a great job, gets a double a limb. Trying to look for that third, but Thanos managed to help him out there. That's 3 down now. Venom gets a trade on Goku. 40-point gap between these 2 teams, only 2 minutes and 10 left.
It was looking like a big comeback from Enix then, but they had such low health as Aerial, with the G-Launcher, the Blade Master, and the Shotgun, gets a triple elimination, and Gentrix takes down Goku. That is a team wipe. There are now almost 200 points in it. Impact Gaming only 33 points away from winning the tournament.
And it looks like it's going to happen now. Aerial had that elimination streak. Only 5 points left for Impact Gaming to end this and win the NA region. And they do. Impact Gaming win map number 5 and the grand finals 3-2 and got that top spot once again.
Yeah, there you go. It was close. Enix put up one hell of a fight there, but ultimately you can't beat Impact Gaming in the NA region. They won the Brazil Pro Series last week, and that wasn't just an NA tournament. That was an international tournament. They won the whole thing. It was a tall order for Enix to take them down. They did their best shot, didn't quite manage it, but still, that was a great performance and very exciting set of games.
No, it was very good. We couldn't ask for a closer grand final there. I was quite surprised. I didn't actually realise, I apologise, I thought it was 3 objective, 2 DMs, sorry, 2 TDMs, but it's actually 3 TDMs, 2 objectives. I didn't actually realise that. And nonetheless, you know, Impact Game with the Skyscrapers, their top mid control was so good, and even though they were quite weak, they managed to get enough damage done, so on that next death cycle, they can just repeat the process, rinse and repeat, go from there. But as you can see, Corrupt, very strong performance with 13 frags contributed, +2, and J-Master only slightly below, but with more points with those Blade Masters and streaks.
Aerial, though, with 207 points. That is one heck of a score for a TDM game. And, you know, Impact Gaming were really showing off in that game. That wasn't as close as some of the other games that we'd seen. The previous game was really close, for example, but that was a bit of a landslide victory with, I think, 200 points in the clear. Yeah,
quite surprising, because you don't really see many TDMs with that much difference in score. It's very difficult to try and at least do that, especially at high tier level, but they managed to do it anyway. The atomic control was flawless. I saw Enix were trying to do, trying to get some damage done from below to help with top mid, but it just wasn't the case because every time they did that, they got caught off guard with the avalanches, etc., and they managed to get picked off left, right, and centre. And it's very, very difficult to be so aware of all the situations, especially with the amount of ways you can go around on skyscrapers. But commiserations to Enix. I'm sure they'll be happy to at least get that top 2 spot. But Impact, the guys, as usual, managed to take it again.
It is an improvement for Enix, as I believe last week Epic actually took the 2nd place spot. So, at least that's a step in the right direction, even though didn't quite, so close, but didn't quite get that final step. There you go. There's one last look at the bracket from today's North American broadcast. Impact Gaming taking down Enix with a 3-2 victory, the closest series that we have had all day in Europe and America's broadcast. And it was great. Great to watch, wasn't it, Harry?
Yeah, no, every series was great. I'm very interested to see how much more improvement we'll see from Enix. I'd like to see a bit more from them on the objective side. Broken, I want to see what things they can correct, because I think there's a lot they need to correct, probably more in the coordination. But Epic, I'm very curious about how things will pan out for this team, because Epic actually seemed quite good, quite surprisingly. I wasn't really too much expecting it because I didn't actually see last week's performance. But so far I've been quite impressed. I think they're definitely a challenge for the top 2 spot.
Let's take a look at the standings for Guns of Boom Season 2 for the North American region. See how the teams are doing so far. Impact Gaming having won both tournaments so far. No real surprise there. 200 points, 100 per week. Epic and Enix tied for 2nd, given that they've come 2nd and 3rd each week, respectively, 125 points each.
Just shows that 3rd place playoff does mean a lot. But Broken aren't too far behind by 40 points. If they correct everything that needs to be corrected ASAP over the next couple of weeks, then they should be in with a chance. But it was quite a big difference compared to these teams, but we'll have to see how things go. But I think Epic is definitely one I'm impressed with.
Well, that is us finished for today's broadcast. Harry, we'll be seeing you again next week, won't we?
Of course you will.
I'm going to be taking a week off, but hopefully you'll have a great time without me. Looking forward to much more Guns of Boom action next week. So have a great week, and we'll see you then.